Hi guys, Dragon Warrior Reviews here, and today I'm going to be showing you the Hot Toys Scorched Xenomorph figure from Alien Romulus. So honestly, I really enjoyed Alien Romulus. I think it's actually my favourite Alien movie, and the Scorched Xenomorph, or the Xenomorphs from that movie, are definitely my favourite alien designs. Ignore the noise in the background, that'll go off soon, that's just the boiler going. Now this box is very, very shiny, way more shiny than I thought it would be, and well, you can see that because you can see my reflection. Hey everybody. But anyway, on the box here, we've got a picture of the Xenomorph itself and the tail down there, really cool. It's done in a red sort of colour that represents sort of like the front cover picture of the movie, where you can see like a face hugger around one of the characters. Then it says Alien Romulus in a sort of shiny silver text, which is really cool. Then it says Scorched Xenomorph down here, 1/6 scale collectible figure, Hot Toys, and then movie masterpiece. Love this box. And then we got the Weyland Yutani logo here, and yeah, honestly really nice. There's more sort of shots of the alien here, you know, the side, very, very nice. And yeah, the warning is legal information and their store locations on the back. Honestly, this is a really, really nice box. That sound is really annoying me in the background. Hopefully you guys don't mind. And the slip cover is actually really, really loose. Actually, usually they're quite tight on Hot Toys boxes, but this one is really slippery. So just watch out when you get yours in hand. And it looks like I got a bit of damage. It looks like an alien has actually damaged the box. That's actually kind of cool. But anyway, if we take off the slip cover, there we go. We have, oh my god, this thing is huge, man. That is bigger than I thought it would be. I knew it would be tall, but holy, that is kind of crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah, I do watch figure hideout shorts and stuff, so I kind of know what the box looks like, but I did forget about this. We've got a picture, I'm assuming, of the prototype here. Very, very nice. Hot Toys presents Scorched Xenomorph. Very, very awesome. Wow, I love this little like banner here. That's really cool. Scorched Xenomorph. Alright, my first impressions of the Scorched Xenomorph is, damn, that is incredible. Look at that thing. Also smells a bit like the Venom and Carnage rubber, because this figure does have rubber on it, and it also has some metal joints as well. And that display base, wow, that display base is huge. And that face hugger, that is terrifying looking. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to get this figure out and get him into some poses and stuff and take a proper look at him. Holy. Alright, I've got the Scorched Xenomorph and all of his accessories at the box, so let's now take a closer look. First of all, at the hands. So the detail is really, really awesome. They look absolutely incredible. I really like that sort of coppery colour with the black. It kind of looks like the alien is wearing fingerless gloves, which is really, really awesome. Love that attention to detail. And on the tips, we've got some sort of shiny metallic sort of claw fingers, whatever you want to call them, and we get two of these hands here. These are sort of like relaxed hands, or you know, open palm hands, something like that. Then we've got these hands. These are more like if you want the alien like this, I think, or whoa, this finger is a little bit, I noticed this out of the box, the finger is a little bit pushed to this side. You can easily heat this hand up and fix it if you're going to use these hands. And then you get these hands. They kind of look like face huggers if you think about it. But yeah, really, really awesome. Love these. These are for like if you want him like on all fours, I think. And already installed in the figure, we get these sort of like dynamic claw hands, which is really cool. All of these are sort of dynamic claw hands, except these. Now we're going to take a look at this in more detail later, but this is just a sculpted open mouth. You can swap it out for the silicone articulated mouth. Mine looks a little squiff, so I'm a little nervous when I actually put this on. It won't line up properly. I think mine has a kind of an error. Hopefully it still looks good on the figure. And we get a swap out dome, the Scorched battle damaged version, or swap out part of the dome, should I say. We get this tool here for not moving the eyes, but for getting the inner jaw out. You sort of you basically open his mouth, shove this in his mouth, and pull it out because it's magnetic. And finally, well, not finally, but finally for the accessories, I guess, well, it's kind of another figure if you think about it. But we got the face hugger with a bendy wire tail, which is really, really awesome. And the fingers or legs, whatever you want to call them, they are articulated on ball joints. We've got the detail at the bottom, very awesome. Honestly, this is really awesome. And if you do get the Rain Carradine figure, time of me recording this video, she isn't released, but if you do get that figure when it comes out, she will also come with a facehugger. It will probably be reused exactly the same as this, which is kind of cool, I guess. And finally, we have the display base. This display base is a diamond display base. It is really big. Also, I noticed with the facehugger when I was fiddling around with it off camera, is the tail is very heavy. So if you really want it crawling like this, you're gonna have to stick the fingers in these little holes, which you can do. But anyway, back to the display base. Very, very nice. It's quite shiny here. It looks like a bit of weathering as well if you kind of look, which is really awesome. Love this. This is all sort of the hive goo, as aliens make their own sort of hives, which is really awesome, a bit like bees, but very, very awesome. I love the dirt and grime. What is it? No, I don't think that's actually weathering here, that's just dust. But on the top here, that actually is weathering, which is really cool. I'm really liking this display base. And you can see a wire plugged into it, and you probably can guess what that means. But before we do that, it's sort of like a rubbery PVC material, it feels like, for the hive goo, sorry. Also, we get this should be metal really, but we get a wide scoop crotch grabber for the Xeno himself. Very awesome. Like I said, love the weathering on here. But anyway, I think it's time now to turn this display base on. So here we go. The lights look very awesome. I will be making the room darker later to show you what this display base, the lights look like on this display base in the dark. But I want to do that when I've got him into his first pose, or the alien in his first pose, so you can sort of see the lights reflecting off the alien. That's going to be awesome. From above here, you can notice more of that sort of weathering on the top of the display base. But yeah, love the lights. Love that they've included these, and yeah, good job, Hot Toys. So here we go. We have the Xenomorph standing up straight in no particular poses on his display base without the LEDs, and he is looking, or sorry, should I say it, is looking absolutely incredible. It's so hard to show you from afar here while I'm spinning him around. Luckily my arm is quite long, but honestly, first impressions of him standing on his display base looking at me here is he is looking great. And honestly, this is gonna be a whoa, okay, all right, yeah, I don't know. Okay, let me just fix this. There we go. He's a little front heavy because he's literally just that big. Anyway, I've also put the flash on it so we can easily see the details, just because, it's a little dark in the room. So usually I go bottom to top in my reviews, but in today's sort of review, I am going to be going from bottom to top. So here we go, we got his clawy feet here, very awesome. I love the Xenomorph feet design for the Scorched Xenomorph. That sounds a bit wrong. Also, the joints on the foot, they are actually die-cast joints underneath this rubber here, and the same with the joints up here, just because it'll make him easier to stand, because the joints will be stronger, very similar to what they did with General Grievous, but only for the feet and the ankles we have the joints. Very awesome detail, though. You sort of got that blue sort of sheen. It's kind of a blue sheen, isn't it? Like a grey bluey sheen. I just love the detail on these aliens. Unfortunately, in the movies, you never get to see all this detail because they're in pretty much pitch black. But what I love about 1/6 scale collecting is you get to see details you would never see in the movies. But yeah, these legs, very well detailed. Love this. When we got to the torso piece here, very nice. This is sort of like a rubbery PVC. Oh, no, sorry, this is rubbery. A rubbery section here with a seamless joint underneath. And then we've got the rib cage, all sculpted plastic here. Very, very awesome. And then we've got the arms here. Very nice. I love the detail. Wow. These monsters are really monstrous. There's a little bit of gappiness in the back there, but even though there's a bit of gappiness, it's like the joint is really well hidden still. You can sort of see, it's quite detailed still. It's not like an ugly joint or anything. It is really nice. Then we've got the tail, which is a bendy wire, very easy to bend. If you've ever owned any of the NECA aliens, exactly the same. Actually, this rubber feels a bit nicer as well because it is Hot Toys, and I've dealt with quite a few NECA aliens before, so this should be a breeze. Obviously the joints are quite bad on the NECA ones, but the joints feel really good on this Scorched Xenomorph Hot Toys 1/6 scale here. Very nice. Got the sort of tubes. The tube is smaller on the Scorched Xenomorph, and also this part here, this dorsal fin here. Usually on the other alien figures, usually on the other Xenomorph designs, it is more upwards, but it is down like this, which looks a bit weird, but it's great for when you have him on all fours. That's probably why the directors chose that chose the dorsal fin here to be like lower down for the outfit in the movie, just so the head could look up and it would look better when the creature is on all fours, like I think it was in the movie. I haven't seen the movie in a while, but I'm pretty sure a couple of the Xenomorphs did go on all fours. But I love that sort of like coppery gold sheen up here as well. Really love that detail. Now this is where things get even better. Look at the detail on this sort of head here. And this is also PVC plastic, or rubbery, sorry, not PVC. There's a joint underneath, you can have them looking up and looking all the way down. The mouth is silicone, but if you have the mouth open for too long, the sort of strands, these parts here, will eventually snap. That's why they do end up giving us a sort of sculpted open mouth. I will try that later on, but this, I love all the purples, the blues, the bronzy gold, the blacks, the bluish sort of colour, a bit like the Alien Queen or the Alien Warriors from Aliens. Love that look, and I love the teeth. Yep, the mouth is silicone. It can open. I'm pretty sure it can open, like, there's 3 ratchet joints. I tried opening the mouth and it was really difficult. Like, it keeps wanting to pull off the whole jaw piece. I'm going to try my best in a sec to open it. And I will be removing this part of the dome here to put the battle damage one on later. Don't want to do it now just because I don't really want to keep taking it on and off, because what I saw in Justin's review when I skimmed through it, basically they're like plastic clips, really fragile. So yeah, and underneath there is some detail underneath, you know, with the skull. So we'll be taking a look at that later on. Now on the top here, look how awesome and well detailed the inside of the dome is. Look at that. Look at all those little like bony pieces, those wires. This looks absolutely incredible. Now let me tell you what I don't like. What is that seam? I really don't like that seam. It is really noticeable. You can really see where you swap out the dome or the front of the dome. It is very ugly. Hopefully it's not as ugly from afar in your collection, but at the moment I ain't liking that too much. So this is what the mouth looks like one click open. I'm pretty sure, like I said earlier, it has 3 clicks. So that is click number 1. This is the next click, as you can see, looking very, very awesome. And will I be able to do the next final click on camera? Actually, no, I'm not going to be able to, but let's do the 3rd. Click, I don't like that. Not the look, I think the look looks awesome, but in my opinion, what I really don't like is those strands really look like they're going to break any second. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to, before I show you the inner jaw feature, just close it a little. Now let's try the inner jaw feature. Let's take this magnet. Oh, there we go. It locks on. Now we can pull it out. No, we cannot pull it out. Why can I not do this on camera? That is really annoying. Can I do it? Come on, get it out. Oh, I found the issue. Basically, I just had to like open them, not open the mouth to another click, but just like to just push it open a little bit more, just a little nudge. And now if I stick the tool in there, it should now easily, oh my god, that's so cool. It should easily come out. Now I can remove the magnet and basically I can put it in how I want. Or actually, it will just fall out like this. Oh, I know you can do that. Oh, that's really cool. I really like that. Honestly, Hot Toys, well done on this alien, man. Like, holy crap. Like, you can have it. Yeah, that is how I think I'll have it in my collection. That looks awesome. But you can put it all the way to around here. And once you've finished with it, you can stick it all the way back in there. Maybe just use the tool to dab it back in there. And it won't come out anymore unless you use the tool. Well done, Hot Toys. Anyway, it's time to get the Scorched Xenomorph into his first pose. But before I do that, I'm just going to say I'm not going to be opening the mouth anymore just because I don't want to damage the rubber. So we're going to keep it shut from now on. Or I might open it a little bit, actually. Like a little teensy bit in one of the poses. I'm not sure. But I'll probably later on switch. Sorry, I won't probably, but I'll be switching this jaw out later. And hopefully, like I said, you know, it's a little bit, it looks a bit weird on my copy. So hopefully it lines up properly and doesn't look like an eyesore. If not, I'll just have to have the alien like this in the collection. Alright, we have pose number 1. This is very similar to one on the blogger photos. By the way, this figure is really hard to pose. It's really heavy. I wanted him like sort of like stepping off the display base like the picture on the blogger photos. I decided not to because it's really, I don't know, you really need that display base. You've got the face hugger display like this. He's not toppling over. One of his fingers are sort of secured, I think, in one of the holes, so he stands up properly. I'm glad the display base has a load of holes. Probably they did that for that, just for the face hugger really. But yeah, really awesome. pose here. I'll show you what it looks like in the dark, or most importantly, what the display base looks like in the dark. But I will have to unplug the display base actually to turn the figure around to show you more of the pose. But yeah, I think it's a decent pose. It's definitely not like the best pose ever, but it's definitely one like which would look really good on your shelf. And yeah, really like the look of this pose. It's looking really awesome and he's terrifying. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. If I give a nice little zoom in, he's beautiful. And as promised, this is what the display base looks like in the dark. The lights really reflect off the figure quite nicely. Very nice. Like, it's not too dark in my room right now because there is actually the blinds open, so there's a bit of sunlight coming in, so it's perfect for some photo photography for the Instagram account. And for now, these lights are not too bright, but that's good. We don't want them too bright because as you know in the Alien movies, lights are never bright, man. Like these aliens, you see them like this. You don't see all their beautiful purpley details around their necks and all that stuff. A lot of the coppery stuff you don't notice. You mostly see them like this, like almost pitch black. So that's what I love about, you know, doing this. It kind of feels more like the movie. Wow, I just can't stop shooting this pose. Very nice. From this angle, the front here, it looks even better actually. What? And from this side, I keep taking pictures of this figure, man, and I can't stop. Usually I take a few pictures for the Instagram account for like maybe one or two poses, or sorry, 1 or 2 pictures per poses. But no, I'm going to be taking another couple of photos filming after this segment. Oh my goodness, man, that face hugger looks so creepy as well. Alright, I think it might actually be time though to move on to the second pose. So I'm going to be doing 2 poses with the mouth shut, and then 2 poses with the battle damaged dome, and with the mouth open. One without the inner jaw and then one with the inner jaw, so you can have sort of a feel for what it looks like. But holy, this figure is really awesome. I love flipping aliens, the perfect organism and the perfect figure. Here we got the Xenomorph himself, just after he has come out of his cocoon. This pose was not easy. I don't want to keep him in the pose too long, just because it's like putting a lot of pressure on his rubber part there. But I got the pose. It's just super front heavy, this figure is. That's the only problem. I love where I put the face hugger here. It's trying to crawl up onto the display base. Really awesome. I'll probably do something like that, simulating my final sort of pose. But yeah, this is looking absolutely awesome. Terrifying. Enjoy crawling, face hugger. But anyway, there we go. This is the pose in the light. Very awesome. Like, wow. I'm pretty sure when the alien was coming out of his cocoon and he was sort of like sitting like this, the tail was underneath him, but it kind of looks cooler like this, you know, if you know what I mean, like in figure form. But wow, look at this thing. I switched out the hand to more of a relaxed one. This one's still the default one. The hands which are already installed on him out of the box are probably some of my favorite hands. That's why I haven't really like switched them out. I only really switched out this one here, like I said, like I showed a second ago. I have installed the sculpted open mouth and removed the part of the dome so we can really appreciate some of this detail before we put on the battle damaged dome. So here we go. Very awesome. The detail looks absolutely insane. These scratches, though, in my opinion, should be sculpted, like, you know, like proper, like, scratches in the skull. But they probably didn't do that just because we're going to have the dome on half the time anyway, and it's going to be kind of hard to see inside of it. But still, for some extra detail, that would have been cool. But it's not the end of the world. The sculpted mouth looks good. A little bit screwy for mine. It's probably fine. It probably won't really matter anyway. When you have it in the collection, you won't notice it. But it's time to install now this battle damaged dome, and honestly it looks great. I think I'm going to be using it in my personal display. In fact, I'm not removing that anymore because I don't want to break it, so I'll have to use it. Now the only thing I am noticing is you can sort of see a little bit of like the nose piece. It's like it's not lined up properly. Like with the silicone it sort of does, but with this, because my particular copy of the jaw is a little squiff, it looks a bit off in my opinion. But hopefully I grow to not hate it too much for me to, you know, take off this open mouth sculpt and switch it to the closed one. Because I love the closed one, don't get me wrong, it looks great. But the open one with the inner jaw coming out, come on, that's going to look too good in the collection. So here we go. This is definitely my favourite pose of the video so far. Very dynamic. Really like the look of this. Wow, that's creepy. As you can see, I've sort of displayed the face hugger like he's about to launch somebody, maybe Rain, which we don't have right now because she's not been released. And as you can see, looking good. It's just that little seam. Oh, I don't like it. Like where you can see where the mouth is and stuff. Like with the silicone mouth, I don't see that problem, but with this, I do. It's going to be annoying, but where I'm going to display this, I'm going to be displaying it quite high up. It shouldn't be too bad. It should be completely fine, hopefully, but he does look really, really awesome. I really do like this pose. Very, very dynamic. Like, Hot Toys have done an incredible job with this figure. Like, it's not 100% perfect, but he's definitely close to being it. And wow, look at this angle here. That is an angle. I need to get the thumbnail like picture at some point, and I think I might actually use this pose for it. So yeah, tail's really nice to work with. Just be patient if it didn't get it look really, really awesome. Display base is huge, big enough for the alien. It's just these little slimy bits can be a bit annoying when you're standing it up, but I would rather them on the display base than not. Face hugger, love an articulated face hugger. Really, really nice. And it's just a crazy cool looking figure. I'm going to unplug the display base in a second to spin the pose around one last time. Yeah, from this angle, I love this pose. Whatever angle, actually it's not really a pose, it's more of the figure. Like, from whatever pose you're in, from whatever angle, it looks really, really awesome. Like, wow, look at that. You got that there. I think this pose would look really good with the inner jaw out as well. I may just get that out in a second. And in fact, let me just do it on camera. Like, it's really fun to do. You just take this out, and there you go. You just have to get the magnet off, and then the inner jaw is out. It's so simple. Like, it is stupidly simple, and I love it. And if you don't want it all the way out, you can have it just around there. It's just so cool. Like, it is, they've done a blooming great job with this. And all the way out if you want it. Oh, that's so cool. Like, and the detail, and I didn't really talk about the detail. Detail looks pretty, oh, it looks, you know, pretty like white and black, you know, just like it should do. Very, very awesome. And yeah, the joints don't, you know, some of the joints are like the non-seamless ones. You don't really jump out at you either. Like, they're quite hidden, and the detail on the back and everything. It's just beautiful. It really is. And yeah, like I said, the seam is a bit annoying there, but I really do like you can switch out the dome. Oh yeah, and the seam up there is a little annoying as well. But this face hugger ain't annoying. Look at that thing. Anyway, it's time to move on to my final pose. I got the face hugger sort of like crawling on the side there, and I was going to do on all fours pose, but unfortunately I couldn't get it to work. Like D-Knight did. I watched his video or skimmed through his video, and he managed to get like a few awesome, like on all fours sort of pose without the crotch grab or anything. I couldn't do it for some reason. Like the joints kept falling off the hands. I just couldn't do it. Maybe if I kept trying I could, but I think this is going to be more secure in the long run anyway. I've got it on the display base. It's not a perfect pose, but it should be safe where I'm going to put this little thing. So it's not really a little thing, but still very cool. The display base is not that noticeable now, the lights, but when you have this like lit up in a dark room, this is going to look incredible with the display base on. But yeah, basically he's sort of crouching down, looking like this, looking pretty cool. And yeah, I'll probably put Rain sort of like here in front somehow in the future on the display. That'll look pretty cool. I don't know. I think honestly it's not my favorite pose ever, but I think I don't know. Like, I think it will grow on me more and more. But it does look really, really cool. And yeah, it's just one of those poses which does look really, really menacing. And you know, and it does look really good. Like, and I love that. I love this. I just love this inner jaw. You put it in, it locks in, and then you sort of use that tool to pull it back out again. It will disconnect the magnet or sort of pull it away from the inside. So that's what I meant to say. And you can also, as you can see, the head's all the way down, but it's sort of holding its position. I'm not sure if there is like a clip mechanism somehow. When you pull it, if you put it sort of like back in, it locks it in. It kind of looks like it's locked in, if you know what I mean. You can pull it all the way out, put it all the way in. You can have it wedged near the teeth. Or sort of, I think the teeth sort of secure, or like this. I think, yeah, I think this honestly, this inner jaw feature is absolutely mind-blowing. They've done a very good job on it. I'm very impressed, because like usually, if it has to be some sort of like, a bit like, you know, when you open the mouth with the silicone mouth, there's like 3 ratchet clips. It's like this has got 3 clips as well. You can have it like coming out, you can have it fully out, or you can have it like, it's sort of like the magnet stops. Oh, it's really, really cool. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just, let me know in the comments if you know any more about this inner jaw, but it seems to be absolutely incredible. It really does. Anyway, so it's time to move on to the pros and the cons section. So the first irritating thing is when you switch out the domes, instead of there being magnets to remove the pieces, or magnets holding the pieces together, should I say, it's actually plastic clips. And if you do that too many times, there's a probably high possibility of the clips breaking over time. And also, when you do remove the bottom jaw pieces, there is a magnet, yes, but there's more of those plastic clips. I really wish it was all done by magnets, because as you know, the magnets to sort of pull out the inner jaw is very, very strong. So if they just made the magnet strong enough, you could easily remove the dome, easily remove the bottom jaw piece without, you know, risking the clips breaking in the future. It's just plastic clips are never the way to go with figures, especially when you want to remove pieces to change battle damage pieces out or stuff like that. You know what I'm trying to say. So now the second irritating thing is actually kind of funny, because it's actually about the sort of dome piece and the jaw again, but instead of plastic clips, we're going to be talking about seams. That seam is extremely ugly, and only for the sort of sculpted open mouth we get this awful little seam here. So it's not too bad, but it's not good either. I don't like that at all. Mine, you know, my particular copy, like the mouth looks a bit skewiff. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe with yours it'll look a bit better, but with my particular copy, it is very, very annoying. And definitely with your copies, you will still have this annoying seam here. Now the first great thing is, Hot Toys, you are blooming legends. So when we saw this figure, when this figure was announced, we assumed that the mouth would be made out of rubber. You would open it and you couldn't display sort of the mouth open, because it would risk, you know, the strands breaking over time. And yes, that is still the case. The mouth is made of rubber, and yeah, if you had the mouth open for long term, it would break the strands 100% because they're quite weak. But what we didn't expect, or what we didn't see when they announced this piece, is a sculpted open mouth. So if you want this figure with the mouth open, you just switch out the silicone mouth to the sculpted mouth, and now there is no worries of anything breaking at all. And that is honestly an incredible thing. I cannot believe they did that. I'm super happy. We all expected them to do that, but you know, Hot Toys, they don't usually like to, I don't know, sometimes they cheap out, and this time they didn't. They spent the money, they made a sculpted open mouth for the first time with Xenomorph figures, and now we can really display this thing without worrying that the jaw is just going to like completely destroy itself. Now the second great thing, I was leaning towards maybe the jaw, because it's so fun to bring the inner jaw out, and also it sort of locks in place, like it's locked in there. I actually tested it off camera. I actually panicked because it wouldn't lock into, it kept like falling all the way out and it wouldn't lock into place like that, but I did eventually. But I'm not sure if the magnet is damaging that a little bit at the bottom there, so I'm not sure. Like, it is a great thing about this figure, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean more towards this face hugger. Number one, they did not need to include this face hugger. Number two, they could have just given us a flipping sculpted face hugger. No, they gave us a fully articulated one. We've had face huggers from NECA with bendy wire tails, but never with articulated fingers, and Hot Toys have given us articulated fingers, and the detail on the face hugger is also really awesome, and as far as I know, it's very accurate to the movie. So yeah, so there we go. So this figure does have quite a lot of rubber on it. I didn't really talk about it earlier. There's a lot of rubber on the back here, all the joints. Basically, they tried to hide as many joints as possible with the rubber. The tail's all rubber, all that section down there is rubber. There's rubber in between the joints. Hopefully that doesn't stick to itself over time. I like to keep the arms bent. I'm not going to have the arms just not bent. This is a Xenomorph. There is more rubber down there on the wrists. There's quite a lot of rubber, and in the middle and the torso as well, and on the neck. So hopefully the rubber is durable. There's a lot of sculpted plastic still as well, and a little bit of die cast on the joints down here. But hopefully none of it degrades over time. I'm sure it won't. Honestly, this figure is incredible. Like, absolutely incredible. The LED display base, the whole look of the figure. It is absolutely outstanding, and Hot Toys have done an incredible job with this, and the box is also beautiful as well. Anyway, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and that like button. Also comment down below what you think of the figure. Also, there's a link in the description to my Instagram account if you want to follow me further. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in another review, figure preview, or short.